The following is a special live presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Ron Chuckett. Welcome to the program for this first day of winter, 2024. This 21st day of December. You have 3 days to convince Amazon to deliver whatever it is they're supposed to deliver for you, for your spouse, for Christmas. Having said that, all right. So today we're going to take a long first look at Action PC Baseball 2025. Was released yesterday. I spent about 10 minutes with it last night just to look around. There are some substantial changes which you and I are going to go through, not necessarily in gameplay, but in how the game presents itself and all that. Plus, we'll take our first look at 1956, which starts with a doubleheader on Monday morning, 11:30 a.m., January 13th, 2025, between the Philadelphia Phillies and the Brooklyn Dodgers, because 55 was the Dodgers' year, followed by the Yankees and the Senators from Griffith Stadium in Washington. So that's the opening day doubleheader, January 13th, about 3 weeks from today. So all that to tell you it is time to show off Action PC Baseball 2025. And this holiday special is brought to you by DigitalDice.com, the best darn podcast on the web for your sports simulation and replay needs. Find us today on Spotify, Spreaker, iTunes, or wherever else fine podcasts are listed. Boy, that doesn't look very different, does it? Looks are deceiving. So this is how the real 1956 ended. The reason why I chose this season is it's a three-team race in the National League between the Dodgers, the Braves, and the Reds, and everyone else is there. In the American League, the Yankees win the American League by 9 games, but Cleveland, Chicago, Boston, and Detroit all are in pretty good position to jockey for second. Baltimore, Washington, and Kansas City. Meh. All right, so let's go through the rule settings here. We'll start with a quick setup, just in case you've never seen this before. This doesn't look any different. We have as played. This mode can be used for seasons that include complete transactions. Rosters for each game will include actual active players for that game, taking into account real-life injuries, trades, sign-ups, or signings, call-ups, and demotions. Real-life lineups and starting pitchers will be used. That is what I do. You have all transactions, which is pretty much as played, except for you set the lineups. And if you do have injuries set, they'll last no more than 3 games. Major transactions, only major transactions will be used. These include trades and signings, but not injuries, call-ups, or demotions. The user or computer manager will set the active roster, lineup, and starting pitcher for each game. Injuries can occur. No transactions, which means that everybody is available for whatever team they played for at any time. An alternate reality mode, kind of like a fictional thing, or that's really not fictional. So click the select rules for a popular league setup. Individual rules may be edited as desired. We do as played. So in general, here is what we have. We have standard length of the season, 154 games, 9 innings. DH, there's no DH, it's 1956, but if a doubleheader would be 9-inning game, you can have the modern rule for setting extra innings with runner, the ghost runner on. We're not doing that. We're not using any DH rules. And the Ohtani rule is in effect for this game, but I'm not using it for the season, so allow a pull pitcher to remain in the game as a DH. We do have park effects checked. I don't worry about the draft league stuff. Pitching, you can use warm-up. I don't. You can allow estimated pitch count editing. I've tried that before. It really hasn't worked, but we'll leave it unchecked. Batter pitch clocks, I guess they're in the game. We'll try it. What we could do on Monday, we'll do the 62 Mets and the 24 Chicago White Sox. How about that? And then we can try the batter pitcher clocks. You can set the required minimum batters faced, which is 1. We don't have any limits on mound trips or max pickoff attempts. Catcher fatigue, you can check that. Since we're doing as played in 56, that's unchecked. Rain delays, yes. Rain outs, no. You guys are paying for an hour of baseball, you're getting an hour of baseball. But rain delays, we will leave in. You can have ejections. Now, alternate reality ratings. And there's a question mark. And so, you've seen this one before. So, you can delete the last play option. There is a 10-minute ticker, which you're not going to check. Allow a quick pitch and hit option. That's the Q button. Allow outfielders to play out of position. I won't check that. Is that new? That might be new. I don't remember seeing that. And the no pitch intentional walk, which is today's rules. Replay, it's 1956. There is no replay. But you can allow replay reviews, crew chief reviews, home run reviews only, and then you can set for how many reviews you want per team and what inning you want to go to the booth. And when we do the Met White Sox game, we'll show more of those. Okay? Rosters, 25 players. There's no midseason adjustment. September 1st, it's 40 players. Playoffs, 25. You can mix and match all that to your choice. Pitcher limit, you could set that as much or as little as you want. Additional players for double headers. There's no limit on inactive options per player. We'll use transaction dates if they're available. We'll use daily lineups if they're available. You can check do not use additional transaction dates. I'm going to leave that unchecked. One-game injuries, they only impact the current injury or current game. That's what we've used all along, and we're just going to leave it that way. Multi-game injuries is a thing. Not recommended in as played. And post-game injuries, not recommended when using transaction dates. Exhibition games, you can have roster rules. You can have the computer be the GM. Maximum injury length. Let's look at there. And that can go anywhere from no limit to 99 days. Player durability rating, we're going to leave them on real. So that's what that screen. And of course, if you guys have any questions, let me know. Usage. We don't do penalties, but they're there if you want. And goes as pretty much as high as you want. So batting, at-bats, plate appearances, and you can set the penalty if you want. That's great for draft leagues. Pitchings, innings pitched to batters faced, and pitching starts. We don't do any of that. But the penalty would be reduce. You can reduce hit by walks by anywhere from 5 to 95%. So you can be really penal if you want. And for pitching fatigue, once you go over, you can increase it. Hits and walks anywhere between 5 and 100%. Pitching starts. Again, we don't do any of that. Same thing. You can increase how bad the pitcher is. Batting usage is set for at-bats or innings pitched. Really, if I were to do it, plate appearances would be the way to do it. And batters faced. You can carry regular season usage over to the playoffs and require realistic rest days for position players. Again, I'm doing an as played, but if you want to do that, you can. Display usage warnings, catching streak warnings, required rest. Player has exceeded real-life usage, on pace, and alert before the batter or pitcher is subject to use as penalties. We're not doing that, but if that's what you like, then that's certainly what you can do. And I think some of that stuff is new. Miscellaneous. Outcome box. We don't do a coaching decision clock, pitcher estimated pitch count, base stealing success, runner success. That's all been there before. Dive and risky plays. And I have it set for the success rate on a base advancement option is 30% or higher. We don't do league pitch by pitch mode. Quick play, don't do any of that. And info, there's no wild card, there's no league logo. So, any questions so far? So that's how the rules are set up. Let's take a look at a team. And one of the new things I saw here was, it's the wrong Yankee Stadium, but we're not playing there today. Baseball cards. So if you hit the button there, it'll show the cards for the team. So Mickey Mantle, Joe Collins, Bob Cerv, Eddie Robinson, Bobby. I don't think it shows out the suggested lineups. I think it's just showing the first page of those. So that's a new feature this year. So if we go to the pitchers, I think the fielding percentage for the pitchers is new for this year on the cards. But that's how the cards will look. I know people are going to ask where I got the pictures from. If you're a member of our Digital Dice Facebook group, they're all pinned right there at the start. Thanks to Al Red Sox fan going back to, I think, 46 all the way through 2008. And I got to go also look at the Action PC community page to see if the 2024 pictures have been put up for when we do them and the 62 Mets. So those are how those look. Let's see. Let's take another look here. On the team page, you can see the left-right split. These are all, of course, real-life numbers. How the pitchers split against lefties and righties. You can always do a comparison between the real and the replay for both the batters and the pitchers. There's no usage penalties, but if you do decide that that is something that you'd like to do, here's how you would figure out what the pace is and for fatigue and all that. Bobby Richardson only had 7 at-bats, huh? Same with the pitchers. Number of innings when they're scheduled to start again. Info, Dave Cook Sports. WAR rating. I think that's new this year, too. Uses real stats normalized by year, park-specific left-right split adjustments, and DKS ratings. I gotta let my wife in. Hold on. All right, wifey had to do an errand. WAR is for display only and not to be. It is not used in determining play results. And so when they start their season and when they end, their value and their WAR, again, that's Dave Cook's WAR, not necessarily real life WAR. The bio, age, year, home park, and the ratings in the game. Whitey Ford is rated a 10. And one of the reasons why I wanted to do this season, I mean, you got to do a Mickey Mantle year. I mean, you just have to do a Mickey Mantle year, and this was his Triple Crown year. Notes, they started this last year, so let's say Mickey Mantle, Hall of Fame, MVP. MVP is the first of his 3 MVP seasons. And Yogi was a 3-time MVP winner before. I think it's criminal how underrated Yogi Berra is, by the way. Lineups, you can set them all there for if you want to manually set your lineups. We don't necessarily do that myself. So I can tell you that this will be their lineup opening day versus Washington. Hank Bauer in right, Jerry Lump at short, Mickey Mantle in center, Yogi Berra cleans up behind the plate, Muscowren at first, Billy Martin will bat 6th and play second, Elston Howard is in left, Andy Carey at third, and Don Larson, believe it or not, of course, this is the year that Larson would go on to win or throw the perfect game in the World Series. He's their opening day starter. Must be Whitey Ford did not pitch well in Washington because it's Don Larson, Cux, and McDermott. Ford doesn't start till he pitches against Boston on April 20th. Manage batters. You can now double-click a player to edit his usage setting. Oh, this kind of looks like it's how they're lined up to go as a pinch hitter. So Joe Collins, for instance, would be the number 7 pinch hitter against lefties, but number 2 against right. And how they go against with pitch runners and late defensive replacements. And if I click over here, you see where the computer generated how I should be using pinch hitters. So if you're not sure what to do and you think you need to do a pinch hitting situation, there's your list of what the computer says you should do. Now, how do we manage pitchers? Now, obviously, we're in the era of the fireman here. So it tells you what the rotation should be, how many innings they pitched, who should be the closer. So it'd be Dixon. I'm not seeing here. Yeah, take that. And I'm still, thank you, dear. And what inning they should come in. So other pools and when they should be there. So if you're not sure, this gives all that information for you so you can make a good decision. Career batting, well, we don't have anything going on right now, so there's no encyclopedia. Career pitching, same thing. Team tells you the real batting leaders and pitching leaders and the team stats. Johnny Cux had 3 shutouts, and Whitey Ford threw 18 complete games. How you doing, AP? Team history, again, we don't really have any. And if we had box, so it shows you the schedule there. So if you click on a game that had been played, you could click on the box score. So the Yankees, for instance, start with 3 in Washington. Then their home opener against the Red Sox. And then 1 against Washington, and it's Baltimore and Boston. And then they're home for a long time. Any questions so far? This is what a player card looks like. The Mick, 25 years old. He's a fly ball plus hitter and dead pull hitter. He can run. That ratings are 9 out of 10. He's not going to get a jump. He's not there to bunt. He can bunt for a hit. And he has tremendous power, as you can tell. 52 homers. He drove in 130. And you can see what the game keeps track of: pinch hitting situations, clutch situations, home and road, day and night, by month, and how many multi-hit and multi-homer games. I mean, Mantle should just be an absolute beast. Any additional coaching options with the new version? We'll take a look at that when we do the gameplay in a moment. Mickey's not pitching. Fielding just shows that he played 144 games in center field. And he's an 8 in center field. Those haven't changed. Obviously, here's the managerial things. As a pitcher, Mantle should not pitch as a starter or pitch in relief and always pull for a closer. And the computer is set for Mantle never to be pulled for a pinch runner or never pull for a pinch hitter. Don't pull for a late inning sub. Don't use as a late inning sub. Usage, when we get into that, it just goes with the pace, but since we're doing as played, the computer takes care of most of that. And it's our first Mickey Mantle season, so we don't have any replay history for there. But that's how, those are all the screens for there. He led the league in batting average, 18th in doubles, 21st in triples, led the league in homers and RBIs, and somehow is 7th in stolen bases. Team information, if you've done this before, it's all there, and we'll adjust it as we go along. So it must be I did this before, and the real-life managers are there. We're going to do the Red Sox and the Braves. So let's get the Red Sox in home uniforms. There's a victory song and a stadium sound, which I don't do. All right, Red Sox, Boston. Oops. And I believe all this stuff is on the Action PC community page. So the Red Sox are set. Milwaukee Braves, Fred Haney's Braves. Now, even after they came to move to Milwaukee, the Braves and Red Sox would play a charity game every year, and that's what we're going to play today. We don't do victory songs or stadium sounds. We always click OK, and we're good to go. So, without any further ado, let's set up an exhibition game. The Milwaukee Braves and the Boston Red Sox. And we'll play on my mommy's birthday. She's been 4. So from Fenway Park, we'll set them both to human. There's a bunch of new things here. We'll play around with this as we go along. I played around with some of this. But let's get the lineups going here. All right. Milwaukee, we're going to go with Orange Spawn. Let's see, leading off. No picture of Bruton. Interesting. All right, and he's short left and catcher. All right, so for your Milwaukee Brewers, Billy Bruton leads off in center field. O'Connell will be batting second and playing second base. Well, we'll get to that in a minute. You'll see it. So the lineup is point and click. The Red Sox will be going with Tom Brewer. The game automatically puts him in the 9-hole. Jackie Jensen? No, a 20 home run hitter. Oops, I don't. Okay, so here we go. Fenway Park. Now, these are all new graphics for this year. Okay, that's don't like that. So let's go and turn down Okay, that's better. So here's how the Braves will line up. Billy Bruton will lead off in center field. Danny O'Connell at second will bat second. Joe Adcock at first will go third. Eddie Matthews at third will clean up. Hank Aaron in right will bat fifth. Bobby Thompson, yes, that Bobby Thompson, in left will go sixth. Johnny Logan at short will bat seventh. Del Crandall behind the plate will go eighth, and Warren Spahn will bat ninth on the mound. And Tom Brewer, we'll talk about a change of era from the 80s to the 50s, is rated for 150 pitches. Defensively for Boston, it'll be Ted Williams in left. He's a 4 with a 4 arm. Jimmy Pearsall, a 9 in center with an 8 arm. Jackie Jensen in right is a 7 and a 7. Billy Klaus is at third. He's a 5. Don Budden is a 6 at short. His double play rating, which we don't normally talk about, is a 7. That's been in the game before. Ted Lepcio is a 5 at second, but an 8 on the double play. And Mickey Vernon with a V over from Washington is a 7 at first. And Sammy White is an 8 behind the plate, a 7 arm, and rated 5 for a pass ball. So as far as options are concerned, that's what AP asked for. Pitch, straight pitch is what I always do. Pitch around, aggressive, which I don't do. You can't intentionally walk. Infield can be normal, in at third, halfway, corners, or in, and guard. So we'll play normal. Does that answer your question, AP? Looking forward to... Okay, yeah. So there's a whole new animation here. So Bill Bruton... You know what? There's no batting average here. That's weird. We'll change that in a second. I don't really care about his OPS so much as... all right, so we'll change that right away. Game display. Batter, pitcher. Oh, it's the first one there. Oh, you know why? Because there's no average. I got it. He had 272, 8 homers, and 56 RBI. If you notice, above the box on the right, it now will tell you the inning and the out. So Brewer is ready. He went 19-9 for the Red Sox in 1956. A 3.50 ERA, 32 starts. Finished his job 15 times, 244 and a third, 194 hits, 103 runs, 95 earned. He walked 108 and struck out 126. And the league hit 220 against him. 25 years old, Tom throws a fastball at 86 and is a ground ball pitcher. And with that all out of the way, Brewer on this beautiful 75-degree night here in Boston. Winds blowing in from right center at 8. And this one starts with a ground ball to second. Lepcio throws it to Brewer covering. 1 out. It's weird to have the speed of the pitches listed there, because that is so modern, but so not 1956. Danny O'Connell. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. We'll figure this all out. All right. What does that do? Okay. Kind of gets everything in there. And there is the outcome box. So O'Connell, 239, 2 homers, and 42 RBI. 1 out, just the start of things here. Pitch to O'Connell. There's a little ground ball to Budden. That's all due animation. Budden waits. He has a throw to first. And O'Connell is retired. The one thing I noticed last night, Joe Adcock, by the way, 291, 38 homers and 103 RBI, is that it fooled me a couple times in the couple innings I played on unsuccessful double plays. For years, you always knew whether it would be they would turn two or not, whether the throw to first would be made before the runner got there. Last night, it didn't do that. So we'll see. Pitch to Adcock, 2 out. There's a liner in the left. That should drop for a hit. It does drop in front of Williams. Oh, and he threw it right back to the mound. Ha, ha, ha. I like that. So a 2-out single for Eddie Mathews. Eddie in 56, and you're going to see a lot of the Milwaukee Braves. 272, 37 homers, and 95 RBI. Brewer with 2-out deals. And that's a wild pitch. Woo! And so Adcock does his best Superman impression. It's Boston, not Providence, Joe. You can't leap over a building in a single bound. Take second. And so it's a 1-ball count with 2 out. So Brewer winds and fires. Mathews, slow ground ball right side. Jackie Jensen will wait for it. Adcock will round third and should score without a throw. This kind of looks like electric football, doesn't it? Jensen throws it back in the infield, and it's 1-0 Milwaukee for Hank Aaron, hitting .328, 26 homers, and 92 RBI. How you doing, Brent? So here's the deal. The Boston Braves were the original Boston franchise to help give the Jimmy Fund some sponsorship. And so when the Braves moved to Milwaukee in spring training of 53, one of the things they did before they left was to make sure that Tom Yawkey and the Red Sox continued what the Braves were doing in sponsoring the Jimmy Fund and promoting it, which the Red Sox have done yeoman's work in doing over the years. And for at least through the time that the Braves were in Milwaukee, they would come once a year and play an exhibition game between the Braves and the Red Sox, and that's what we're doing today. Pitch to Aaron. Mathews on first. That is laced into left center field for extra bases. That will take a funny hop off the wall. Pearsall will not get it. Aaron has 2. Mathews will score, and it's 2-0 Milwaukee. So you can see some of this new animation on display. Bobby Thompson, 235, 20 homers, and 74 RBI. And try as I might, I just can't get the Red Sox to win on my channel. How you doing, Forever Remain 90? So Brewer has thrown 11 pitches. He deals. And that's into center field for a base hit. Pearsall will pick it up. Aaron is around third. And it's 3-0 Braves. Now, this is a big picture here, so it's going to take a while. I believe in the smaller pictures, the animation will be a bit faster. Here's Johnny Logan. Johnny hit .281 in 56, 15 homers, and 46 RBI. So, 1 on, 2 out, and the Braves have a 3-spot on the board. Brewer's pitch. And that's into left center field for a base hit. With somebody finally getting out, Williams makes a bad play, but don't tell Ted that. And they're going to try for third. The throw to third to Klaus is not in time. So Ted Williams, again, Ted Williams doesn't make poor plays. Ignore that. Ignore that. It didn't happen. How you doing, Mr. Waterfield? Del Crandall hit .238, 16 homers, and 48 RBI. So Brewer on the wrong end here, trying to get out of the first. Crandall, that is to second. Line drive. Lepsio makes the catch, and that will retire the side. However, a big inning. 3 runs, 5 hits, and no errors. And the Braves leave the Red Sox 3-0. She's with me. So, let's tell you about Warren Spahn, who will win a Cy Young at 36 years old. It wasn't just Roger Clemens. Spahn is 35. He went 20-11 for the Braves in 56, and one of the big reasons why we're doing this year. A 2.78 ERA, 39 games, 35 starts, 20 complete games. He went 281 in the third innings, 249 hits, 92 runs, 87 earned. Keep track of this. We'll be doing this again soon. 52 walks and 128 strikeouts. He throws a Bugs Bunny fastball at 82, and the lefty is a ground ball pitcher. How you doing, CB Blackard? I might a little bit here. So, forever maybe wants me to change the speed on that, we could. A photo of your father staying with Warren Spahn from a game in Milwaukee. Probably about this time. Oh, nice. Both were from Oklahoma. Best guess, will animations get sped up? You got mine max, and it's a lot, and it's too slow. This is probably not the best feel to do it. Let's tell you the Red Sox lineup. Mickey Vernon with the V will lead off for Boston at first. Billy Klaus at second will bat second and play third. Ted Williams, the greatest hitter who ever lived in left, bats third. Jackie Jensen cleans up in right. Ted Lepsio at second will bat fifth. Don Budden at short will go sixth. Jimmy Pearsall, must be Jim in the pictures, is in center. He'll go seventh. Sammy White behind the plate, batting eighth, and Tom Brewer survived the first, batting ninth. Warren Spahn on the mound. He's not batting 10th. That's kind of a weird thing. And he can throw 150 pitches. Defensively for Milwaukee, Bobby Thompson in left as a 6 with a 3-arm. Billy Bruton is a 7 with a 6-arm in center. And Aaron is a 9 and a 9 in right. Del Crandall is a catcher. He is a 10 behind the plate, an 8-arm, and is a 9 against a pass ball. Around the infield, Eddie Matthews a 10 at third. Johnny Logan a 7 and a 7 at short. That's his double play rating. Danny O'Connell is a 7 and a 6 at second, and Joe Adcock is a 6 at first. All right, let's see what we can do to speed up the animation. You've met everybody. Video and sound. All right, we'll try that. How's it? Don't want it to get too fast for me. Vernon, 310, 15 homers, 84 RBI. Spahn deals. That's into shallow center. Bruton coming in, rides a Schwinn, 1 out. Boy, that is buttery smooth, isn't it? Billy Klaus at 271, 7 homers and 59 RBI. Spahn deals. That's into right. Aaron coming in. He'll ride the Schwinn and make the catch in shallow right field. That was almost Adcock's ball. So 2 quick out for Ted Williams. Williams will win a batting title in a couple years. Still, he hit .345 for Boston in 56 with 24 homers and 82 RBI. Mr. Slovic. Saw a checkbox for showing flights. What does a flight look like? Oh, fights. You can get brawls. Oh, you can limit them. So it's automatically set as a default. So mount trips and fights, yes. And before, you would just see a couple of the little lines going at it. So here's Spahn to face Williams. Nobody out, or nobody on, 2 out here in the first. Pitch to Ted. Popped up, and Crandall will make the catch. It's a little too fast. I'm going to slow it down just a little bit. So after 1, Red Sox no runs, no hits, no errors. And it's Milwaukee 3, Boston nothing. So here's Warren Spahn. Warren, 210, 3 homers and 10 RBI. Brewer deals. Spahn up the middle. Lepsio has it for the out. So here's Billy Bruton. Billy is 0 for 1. Opening 9 for Brewer, 22 pitches. Inning in the third, 3 runs, 5 hits. Didn't walk anybody, didn't strike anybody out. Pitch to Bruton. There's a little chopper down to third. Santa Claus has it. He'll make the long throw to first. Bruton's running, and he is out on a bang-banger. So 2 away for O'Connell, who's 0 for 1. So if you got questions or whatever, now's the time for it. Brewer, easier second inning, but he's down 3-0. Pitch to O'Connell. There's a little ground ball to third. I like the animations. Klaus, long throw across the way to Vernon. And O'Connell is retired. The Braves go in order. No runs, no hits, no errors. And after an inning and a half here, in the Jimmy Fund Game of the Year, 3-0 Milwaukee. So Jackie Jensen, Lepsio, I'm assuming I'm pronouncing that right. Al, correct me if you think I'm wrong. And Don Budden to face Warren Spahn here in the second. Jackie had 315 and 56, 11 triples, 20 homers, and 97 RBI. Spahn starts the second with a fly ball to center. Back goes Bruton, and Bill will make the catch. 1 out. Ted Lepsio, obviously a Topps card. How do you know that, Ron? Because that is Yankee Stadium in the background. And most of the Topps pictures for a long, long time were either taken at Yankee Stadium, the Polo Grounds, or Shea Stadium. Lepsio, 261, 15 homers, and 51 RBI. Spahn deals. Struck him out. He got him to chase, so 1-2 pitch. So 2 out for Budden. Budden at 239. 5 homers and 37 RBI. As far as in-game strategy for the batters, you can hit and run, sacrifice bunt, take a pitch, steal a base, run and hit, which means you're going regardless. You can bunt for a hit and you can squeeze. And so those are all new. Well, those are all the same, I should say. Pitch to Budden. And there's a little looper down to Logan. Johnny's there, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to third, 3-0 Milwaukee. Didn't know about the Topps pick? Oh, yeah. I don't know who made these. Again, this is the picture pack that our Red Sox fan hosts. Who did this? They break it down by year. This is my 7th year doing it. So I now have 8 different picture files. The master 1-1 for each of the seasons. Joe Adcock, by the way, singled and scored his first time up. Top of the third, 3-0 Milwaukee. The uniforms and the logos are all manually added. And apparently I'd done this season before because I was delightfully surprised to see the logos and the nicknames already there. And that was something that I had done. So as far as I can tell, no change in how you doll up a team. Pitch to Adcock is in the left field. Williams coming in. He waits for his chauffeur and makes the catch. So a shallow fly ball is pretty shallow this year. Eddie Matthews singled, scored, and drove home a run in the first. Matthews into right. That's well hit. Back goes Jackie Jensen, and Jackie in the corner will make the catch. 2 out. The reason why, by the way, that they did as many New York pictures as they could. Aaron, by the way, Hank doubled and scored in the first and drove home a run, is that for the longest time, Topps was based out of Brooklyn. And so it was just easier. Everyone would swing through at some point. You weren't necessarily looking to make a new card. In fact, they released them in series, so new cards would be coming out throughout the season. I don't think it was until 1974 that they made them all into one series, and I think they stopped doing that in 93. They split them in half. Series 1 and Series 2. Can I show us a pitch-by-pitch for a couple of outs? Sure. So we go pitch by pitch to Hank Aaron. Brewer has thrown 38 with 2 out here in the third. And the first pitch to Aaron is popped up foul, out of play. See, that worked just fine, Chris. So a 1-strike count to Aaron. Brewer, as you can see, the count is going to be there on the right, 0-1. And that's a ball. High and inside, 1-1 the count. So this doesn't look like it's changed at all. Brewer on this warm night in Boston, sweating with Aaron at the plate. The 1-1, that's into center. Pearsall going back and will make the catch. And there's, well, that will retire the side. So, Pearsall doesn't have a picture. He does, but I got to probably change the name of it. So, after 2.5, no runs, no hits, no errors. Milwaukee 3, Boston nothing. It goes back after an out. So, Spawn to face Pearsall, White, and Brewer here in the third. Warren has only thrown 20 pitches. First pitch to Pearsall. There's a ground ball to Spawn, third base side of the rubber, over to first for the out, 1 away. We'll go one more batter. Then I got some stuff to show you. Sammy White, 245, 5 homers, and 44 RBI. So Spawn cruising right through. And outside for a ball on the curve, 1-0. And that's a strike. Curveball painting the outside corner. It's amazing. Spawn, who struck out, I believe, 3,000 in his career. In 281 in the third innings. I mean, talk about just even difference from the 80s, let alone today. He struck out only 128 and walked his 52. Pitch to White. There's a ground ball to Logan. Johnny waits for it, has time to sign it, throws to first for the out, 2 away. For Tom Brewer. Brewer could hit, my goodness, 298 with a homer and 13 RBI. Yeah, the pop-outs to the catcher kind of like, hit off the end of the bat. Yep. So we'll now go back to at-bat mode here. Spawn's pitch to Brewer. That's a base hit into right field, and there goes the no-hitter. So 2 out here in the third for Mickey Vernon, who's 0 for 1. Opening 9 for Spawn, 25 pitches, 2 2/3. A hit and a strikeout. Vernon into right field. Aaron will make the catch, and that will retire the side. After 3, we're not going to do a full game here. But after 3, it's Milwaukee 3, Boston nothing. Let me show you something I found last night. On that game display, we can do the team lineups. Play on the right. Where was it that I saw? Oh, lineup display. It is set for White. We can do team colors with that now. We can all channel our inner Grateful Dead and have some gray. We can do tan. We can do black. I don't know why you would do that, but we can. And we can do grass. We'll go back to white. And we can do a variety of different things with the stats. We can do a game summary. We can do real averages. Real stats. Replay stats. Real versus the opposite pitch side. I mean, the game just tells you so much information. Could I show the stat box layouts? How many columns? Okay. I haven't quite got this right. I can change the size of the box. I don't think I really need the not showing everything. So we'll bring it down to 10. There's no, you'd have to change it. So the batter stat line: average, at-bats, hits, doubles, triples, homers, RBI, runs, stolen bases, grounded into double play, OPS, walks, and strikeouts. And for the pitchers, ERA, wins, loss, saves, innings pitched, hits, home runs, walks, strikeouts, whip, and average. Let's say I wanted to take out the strikeouts. You can have games, plate appearances, extra base hits, stolen bases, caught stealing, grounded into double play, average, slugging, OPS, on base. So those are the things you can add or subtract from the batter's stat line. For the pitcher, ERA, wins, loss, saves, innings pitched, runs, earned runs, home runs allowed, walks, strikeouts, batting average, whip, hits per 9, home runs per 9, strikeouts per 9, and walks per 9. So, was that what you were after? And there's still not enough room on the screen for all that, even with a 10. So Bobby Thompson singled and drove home a run in the first. Brewer starts the fourth. Struck him out. Got him on an 0-2 fastball swinging. You're more than welcome. I'm going to change the size of the play-by-play box here. You can change the size of all that. You can put you can either, for the stat box, as none, below the scoreboard, top corner, or bottom corner. I know that our friend Sean DeMarco puts, I believe, the pictures up by the scoreboard. I'm not quite used to seeing the speed on the screen. Johnny Logan singled his first time up. And he will single. That's extra bases, I think. They'll get past Pearsall and Jensen into the alley. And that is a double for Johnny Logan. So that's the 6th hit allowed by Brewer. 1 out for Dale Crandall, who's 0 for 1. Yep, we found first base. So pitch to Crandall. That's into right. Back goes Jensen, and Jackie will track it down for the out. Logan was 3/4 of the way to third and has to hoof it back to second. 2 out for Warren Spahn, who's 0 for 1. Brewer deals. And Spahn into left center. Pearsall running a long, long way and makes the catch. So after 3.5, Milwaukee gets a hit. They've left on 3, and in the Jimmy Fund game of 56, it's Milwaukee 3, Boston nothing. And if we had standings to show, this would be how we would do it. So these are the real-life leaders and such. The Yankees won the American League by 9. Brooklyn survived Milwaukee and Cincinnati to win the National League, and everyone else was there. So Mickey Mantle, Triple Crown year. Ted Williams hit .345 and was second. This is for all of Major League Baseball. Bill Verdon led the National League in hitting at .354. Henry Aaron was second in the NL, 5th overall. Harvey Keene for the Tigers was 4th. Mickey Mantle hit 52 homers. Duke Snider hit 43 for the Dodgers. Adcock and Frank Robinson hit 38. Mickey Mantle drove in 130. Al Kaline was second with 128. And Stan Musial, 109, led the National League. Stolen bases, Willie Mays stole 40. Louis Aparicio led the American League for the White Sox with 21. How times have changed. Whitey Ford led the basers in an ERA at 2.47. Herb Score was second with 2.53 for the Indians, and Lou Burdett led the NL at 2.70. Early Wynn, Warren Spahn, John Antonelli, Sal Magli, all names you'll see next year. Don Newcomb won 27 games for the Dodgers. That led the National League, and Frank Larry won 21 for the Tigers. That led the American League. Saves, no one saved anything in 59. It wasn't an official stat, but if you insist. Clem Labine for Brooklyn saved 19 games, and Suvarink from Baltimore led the American League with 16. Herb Score struck out 263. Just to put that in perspective, not only was he only one to break 200, but only Billy Pierce broke 190. And because Herb Score didn't know where his pitches were going, he led the majors with 11 wild pitches. How you doing, Mark and Tim? Definitely improved video, but I've seen people say it's slow. I turned mine to down about 10% to make it fast. I'll show you in a minute. Billy Klaus is 0 for 1. Spahn's pitch. That's up the middle. Spahn waits for it. Throws Adcock. 1 out. I have it set by the I and the D in video speed. So I would say about 40%. Try that. It was too slow at average speed, and I had it too fast for me to try and call. Really? Now, what stadium are you using? Mark said there will be patches coming. You're not the first one to say that. Pop-ups, way too slow. Ted Williams is 0 for 1. Pitch to Ted. There's a base hit into right center. Aaron will cut it off. Williams going for 2, and he's out. Oh, my word. That's not something you saw very often at all in any previous version. A runner thrown out trying to turn a single into a double. And again, Mr. Williams does not make mistakes. Hank Aaron was just better at that point. So 2 out for Jackie Jensen, who's 0 for 1. Wow. That's new. So Williams thrown out, trying to take second. Yeah. So here's Jackie, who's 0 for 1. And that's into left field. Bruton running a long, long way. Makes the catch to retire the side off. No runs. Williams thrown out, trying to stretch a single into a double, and no errors. We're going to only play 5 innings here, but we'll do the 5th, and after 4, it's 3-0 Milwaukee. Yep. Lots of good improvements, Mark, to the chalkboard. And doubles do look more like doubles. Billy Bruton is 0 for 2. Brewer, 18 batters, 53 pitches, 4 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs, all earned, and a strikeout. It'll be Bruton, O'Connell, and Adcock here in the 5th. Pitch to Billy. There's a base hit in the right field. Jensen waits. See, that got away from Jensen. That took a funny hop, and that's a double for Bruton. It's exhibition season for all of us right now. Danny O'Connell is 0 for 2. That's a base hit in the right field. Let's see if that scampers for a back-to-back doubles. O'Connell will have to hold. The run will score, and it's now 4-0 Milwaukee. Let's see if they change anything with the changing of the pitchers here. So it's an exhibition game, so everyone's available. We don't do warming. I don't think I see anything new here. And just like with last year, we showed this off a lot in the postseason. The numbers on the right there would be the batting average and on-base percentage for the current batter. So if I wanted to take out Tom Brewer, I would need to find someone that could pitch him at a better rate than 269, and the answer to that is nobody, except for Dave Sisler, who's going to offer me a steak. So I believe, tell you what, I think the hits per 9, home runs per 9 are new, along with the walks per 9 and strikeouts per 9. So that gives you a good indication of control and power. I think that is all new. Still wish they would have a setting for when you were playing it computer versus computer. No, my glasses on. Oh, you can change that. I think, Mark. Robert, like the batters and pitchers show average OB and slugging versus left and right in the boxes in the bottom left. There is a warning here, isn't there? Miscellaneous? You can warn me before my pitcher bats, and all these on the right warn before computer pitching change, pinch hitter, pitch runner, defensive sub. And there's also the box for no computer subs. Is that what you were looking for? Runner on first. Adcock at the plate, 1 for 2. Single and scored. O'Connell leads off, and Brewer struck him out. An 0-2 fastball to 1 away. Freddie Matthews, who was 1 for 2, he has singled, scored, and driven in a run. There is a ground ball to Budden. He waits for it, and he only has a play at first, maybe. Matthews running, and Eddie is out on the bang banger. 2 out. No, but don't want to about. No, I mean, nope, this is not a official game. This is trying to work out all the kinks and stuff. So, not a bog at all. Hank Aaron has a double, an RBI, and a run scored. Brewer deals, and that is into left center field and well hit. That is going to be high and deep and long gone. So the home run king does exactly that, and it's 6-0 on Aaron's blast into the screen. And so for the first time, we get to show you the replay. That was well struck. And my tea is gone. So it appears that the Braves are going to win this. Here's Bobby Thompson. Bobby 1 for 2 with an RBI. Brewer got him, and that will do. Halfway, well, it would be halfway if this was a regular game. It is not. So after 4 1/2, 3 runs, 3 hits, and no errors, it is Milwaukee 6, Boston 0. We haven't looked at the box score yet. Ooh, now that is weird. That's all black and white. I must have bunged that one up. Trust me, when we get to the game on Monday, we will have that addressed. So no change there. Mark says you can set the play-by-play to human versus computer, but you got to make the lineup and pitching changes for the computer, but we'll only get the pitcher hit warning do the team designated as human. Okay. I'll look into that. So I screwed up the color schemes here. That should be different teams' colors here. It is not a black and white world. So that's the default batting box score, fielding stats, and left on base. This is what you want me to do. It's time to read the recap. So nothing new there. The Braves have dominated here. They got 3 in the first. Eddie Matthews, an RBI, single to score Joe Adcock to make it 1-0. Then Hank Aaron doubled home Matthews to make it 2-0. Bobby Thompson singled home Aaron to make it 3-0. And then in the 5th, Danny O'Connell a single the score. Bruton to make it 4-0. And just a moment ago, Aaron, a 2-run homer in the screen in left center to make it 6-0. And so I don't think there's anything new with any of that. That's how the score sheet looks. And the play-by-play. Now I'll get the color scheme fixed before we do this on Monday. All right, Lepsio, Booten, and Pearsall to face Warren Spahn here in the last inning. Red Sox need 6 to tie, and somehow that number 7 comes into play again. Ted is 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up. There's a base hit in the left past Logan in the left field. Thompson will throw it back in. I don't really like that inning thing there. I can get used to the speed of the pitches. I bet I can change that when we go into the ballpark layouts. Don Budden is 0 for 1. Runner on first is Lepsio, and Spahn struck him out. And 0-2 fastball got him swinging 1 away. Here's Jimmy Pearsall. Jimmy promises not to run around the bases the wrong way. He's 0 for 1. So Spahn delivers, and there's a base hit in the right center. That's going to get past Bruton. Aaron has to play it. Lepsio around third. They're going to run on Aaron's arm. O'Connell throws to the plate, and Lepsio scores. So at least the Red Sox get on the board. 6-1, and Pearsall on second. Usually the runner will go to third on the throw. And that throw was lightning fast. So Aaron to O'Connell to Crandall, and it wasn't in time. Sammy White is 0 for 1. That is a ground ball back to Spahn. First base side of the rubber. Throws to Adcock for the out. 2 away. So last chance saloon. We'll take... No. Here's the pinch hitting screen. Ah, this is new. How they would pinch hit against Warren Spahn. I don't believe we've had that before. So when I do who can hit a lefty, I always look at the average and go with a high one there with a reasonable amount of at-bats. But now you can specifically see what they would do against the pitcher. That is brand new. I like that. So who can hit a Spahny? And the answer to that is going to be Dick Gernert. So that's all new. Plus it has their bunt and hit and run ratings as well. So, again, a lot easier to be a good manager because all that information is laid out for you. So last chance saloon is Dick Gernert. Dick hit .291 on the year, 16 homers and 68 RBI. Pearsall on second, 6-1. Braves about to wrap this up. Pitch to Gernert is a ground ball to Logan. Johnny has it. He'll throw to first. Pearsall goes to third, and that is an error. He threw it away. And Gernert's going to reach. Pearsall scores. Somehow Keith Olbermann's mom was here, and she got hit by it. So Gernert reaches on the air, and it's now 6-2 because the run scores. So here's Mickey Vernon. Mickey 0 for 2. Spahn thought he was out of it. 18 batters, 4 2/3, 4 hits, and 2 strikeouts. He threw 61 pitches so far. And he walks Vernon. So first and second for Billy Klaus. Who can hit? Else can hit a lefty? I like that. Gene Mauch. The future manager only played 7 games, but he hit .320 with an RBI. First and second, 2 out. Milwaukee 6, Boston 2. Spahn deals, and Mauch hits a slow ground ball back to Spahn. He'll go to Adcock, and that'll do it. So, we are going to call this. Anything else you guys want to know? So Milwaukee will unofficially win the game by the score of 6-2. 6 runs, 9 hits. It took us an hour and 15 minutes to do this. 6 runs, 9 hits, an error for Milwaukee. They left on 3. The Red Sox, 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors, and they left on 3. Warren Spahn would get your win. 4 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned. He walked 1 and struck out 2. Tom Brewer, 5 innings in the loss. 9 hits, 6 runs, 6 hits. The home run to Aaron. No walks and 3 strikeouts. So that pretty much is everything I can show you. Is there anything else you guys want to see before I figure out what I want for lunch? So I'm impressed. I like the chalkboard. Let me get on camera here. I'm impressed. I like the chalkboard. I thought it played well. I'm sure there'll be a patch regarding the speed of pop-ups and stuff. I've noticed that a couple people have already talked about that. I think one of the big things is going to be you just have so much more information when it's time to make a change that it's just going to make it a lot easier to make the right change. That doesn't mean that it's going to play by the books and all that, but it will be. But you're going to know specifically what that batter-pitcher matchup is going to be, regardless of what pitcher you use or what batter that you use. I think if I had clicked another Milwaukee pitcher up there, it'd have given me the stats for that. So the play-by-play is smoother. I will be doctoring up some ballparks. And when we see you on Monday at noon Eastern for our first full game, we're going to see what the worst team of all time is going to be. Is it the 62 Mets or the 2024 Chicago White Sox? So I'll leave it open for just another minute, just in case there's something else that you want to see. So yes, if it's been a couple of years since you bought the game, or more of a casual fan, to me, this just seems like it is a lot easier to manage as far as that. There's just so much information that the game gives you that, again, doesn't mean that it'll work out the way that you want. It is a game of percentages, but the thought process is there, and you have a lot more tools at your disposal. So any last-second comments before I say goodbye? We'll give it a moment or two. And so our opening day doubleheader, January 13th, it'll be the Phillies and the Dodgers from Ebbets Field in Brooklyn, followed by the Yankees and the Senators from Griffith Stadium in Washington. So both of the 55 World Series teams, you'll see their opener right here on Retro Sports Network. All right, going once. Robert's looking forward to the awful White Sox on Monday. That should be fun. Going once. Going twice. All right. If you think of anything, put it in the comments there, and we'll address it when we're with you on Monday. 62 Mets, 24 White Sox. We'll see you for that. Have a good weekend. Thanks always for watching. So long, everybody.